I tell all clients and our staff, of course, telling them never keep an instrument locked in the car in the summertime, because if it's 95 outside, it is 110 inside the car and 115 inside the trunk. And what people do is they go, oh, I'm going to the mall, I'm going somewhere else, I'll throw this violin in the trunk, and then it'll come completely unglued. It'll stick to the case. We had somebody coming into the shop, and they were coming in for something really simple, and they came in, and the case, they had it in the trunk the entire day. They were running around, and the case, you could feel this heat just emanating from the case. And when you opened it up, the entire instrument was stuck to the fabric inside the case. It just, you had to peel it off, and there was fuzz on the entire back, on the ribs. It just, the varnish completely had melted and stuck to the fuzz on the case. I mean, that was a shock to them. But varnish is affected by heat. Awesome. If I ever see a string instrument in a hot car, I'll break the window. Well, yeah, that's on you. but in general, tell people not to put the instruments in the hot car, and explain to them it is varnish, it is soft, it will not withstand it like a guitar can. And woodwinds are also lacquered, so that they can withstand heat. But one other thing about heat and moisture, all the instrument is glued with water soluble and heat sensitive glues. Okay, it is not glued with these yellow glues like Type-On or yellow that don't move. The idea of the glue is that if there is stress on the instrument, because everything expands, contracts. Asphalt, cement expand, contract. So wood does as well. So when it's expanding, contraction, you have wood, different types of woods in all different directions, cut in all different ways, and it's all expanding, contracting in different directions at different rates. So it's bound to open up. So when you have an open seam or something comes unglued, that's really great, because that means there was stress there. Because if that didn't come unglued, the wood would crack. Okay, so when you have seams, and that's where the seam is, where the top comes loose from the rib, right? So anywhere where there's a glue joint, it comes, even sometimes the neck or the fingerboard comes off. Anytime the instrument comes apart at glue joints, that's a really great thing, and make people, the clients that come in, go, oh my gosh, this happened, because that was really great, because there was some stress there, and therefore the instrument came apart at that glue joint, and that's really good, because that's easy to glue up. Because if it didn't come apart, if it stayed solid and glued, and there was that stress, that means wood would crack somewhere. So that devalues the instrument, much more expensive repair, all that. So it's a good thing when instruments come unglued at the glue joints and not cracking or breaking wood. So really good to make people and clients really comfortable with the idea that, hey, it should come apart with stress. The stress comes in the wintertime when it's really dry. In summertime, if it's hot. So extreme temperatures. I'll tell you a funny story. We had old instruments have many cracks, and that have been glued over time. So like I have like an old instrument that had cracks inside, and so there's lots of places where wood can come loose, cracks can open up, but not fully, and old instruments buzz somewhere because they're just old, and something is coming apart. So I had a professional cellist from the Omaha Symphony call me up in the evening and said, my cello is damaged, I need to see you, it's just awful. I said, okay, I'll meet you at the shop. We open at 10. He got there like at 9:30 and was waiting around, and he opened up the case, I started looking at the cello, and I said, "So where's the damage?" He says, "I don't know where the damage is, but it started buzzing so bad. I knew it was broken. I knew it was awful, and I just put it quickly away. I didn't even want to see it. So I looked over the instrument, looked fine, and I said, "Well, I don't see any damage, but why don't you play on it? Let's see if something, where it's buzzing." Started playing on it, sounded fine, and started playing on it some more, and there was no buzz, there was no nothing. Sounded good. I said, do you hear a buzz? He said, it was there. It was there. It was just huge. It was just rattling. I thought it was broken and cracked. And I go, well, I tell you what, why don't you play it some more? Maybe it'll loosen up. And so left him alone for 15 minutes. He was playing on the cello, and he stopped playing, and I came back, and I could see he was red in the face, completely embarrassed, just had no idea what's going on, right? Because last night it was so bad that he had to, drive like a bat out of hell to get to the shop and show the instrument. So I said, where do you play? He says, well, my wife is also in the Oklahoma Symphony. She has the upstairs. I'm relegated to the basement. It's cold in the basement because heat goes up. So I have a space heater. I go, all right. So here's your problem. So it's cold in the basement, and you have the space heater, which has wafts of really hot air moving around. It's not even, and it's extra dry because it's dry in the winter, and the space heater makes it even drier. So you have a 150-year-old French cello, and it's real finicky, right? Here in our shop, it's now 70 degrees, 50% humidity, and your cello was in the shop for about half an hour, and it got acclimated, and that's the temperature and humidity that it likes. That's a normal temperature humidity for an instrument, for an old instrument. That's likes that. And he said, you mean my cello likes San Diego weather? And I said, yes, your cello likes San Diego weather. And I said, here's what you got to do. You got to make San Diego weather in your basement. And I said, get a oil heater that disperses heat evenly. Get a digital hygrometer that measures the humidity. Make sure it's around 50 to 60%, and have a humidifier there. And in your basement, just make sure it's even temperature at 70, 71, and then have between 50 60% humidity. And then call me if there's a problem. He never called back. So he made San Diego weather in his basement, and this old 150-year-old cello really liked it. So old instruments, much more finicky. New instruments will survive, as the kids are standing in freezing cold weather for half an hour waiting for the bus. They're much more durable, right? But in the end, if an old instrument has cracks and things like that, it is much more susceptible to those changes of heat and cold. And if it gets too extreme, the new instruments will also be susceptible to it, and hopefully the parts will come apart where they're glued rather than staying glued and crack. So that's why you have instruments cracking at schools, because a lot of times in the wintertime over winter break, they'll turn off the heat because they say, well, we're saving money, and so all these instruments are in freezing temperature. I'll volunteer to be the new West Music Road Team member from San Diego location, right? So there you go. So that's and that happens with the summertime too. So the instruments are in this hot, humid room, and so the teacher and students get back, and the entire bass and cello section of instruments is unglued and fingerboard changed and everything else, because they were in this hot, humid location for 3 months. So one of the things that you could do, as a service to teachers, and say, hey, why don't we come look over these instruments and for you, and that way you could get some repair before they get back to school, if anything is wrong with the instruments, because the string teacher doesn't have time to go through all the instruments. So that's one way you could get some repair for, because there's bound to be instruments that over the summertime had issues, developed issues that need to be worked on. So better to have them done and fixed for the teacher before the school year begins than after it begins, and the kids can't play the instrument. So we are ourselves maneuvering and navigating this new land, right? So basically, what you could do is just get the alcohol, the hardware store alcohol, and tell everyone, hey, we're disinfecting the pegs and the the chin rests and the bows, and so because those are the things that people touch, the pegs. They put the the chin on the chin rest and they're touching the bow. So all these things on the bow, you can just take a just a paper towel and fold it, so it's 4 times, so it's got some beef to it. Just get it damp, not wet, so there's no alcohol to drip, and just wipe the pegs, wipe the chin rest, and tell everyone this is what we do. Make a video of that. This is how we do, because this is what we're going to be doing, is showing people that we do that. We're also thinking about, just from the retail standpoint, just the sales staff wearing masks, because it's more important to show clients that you understand what's going on, and so that they have a feeling like, okay, this store gets it and is doing preventative measures in whatever way possible. So it is a new thing. We do have a video. It's under Casey Strings where we talk about that, disinfecting pegs and things like that. So and we have I think we had like an Everclear bottle, bottle of rubbing alcohol from the drugstore and the alcohol from the hardware store, right? And so you can use any alcohol to disinfect your pegs and chin rest. And we actually have on Casey Strings, we have that video. One thing to talk about, the maintenance. This bridge is always going to be warping if it's not in the right place. I'm going to hold it up. Let's see if you can see this bridge needs to be leaning back slightly. And the idea is that if it's leaning forward, if it's wrong, so you can see where, I don't know if you can see, like that's wrong, right? If it's leaning forward, it's going to warp the bridge. So because the bridge is thinner up above and thicker down below, so it's stronger here. So as the strings are pulling it, if they're pulling it, it's going to be warping the bridge. So it tell everyone they need to move the bridge back, and if you put it on the table, let's see if we can do this. So I put like 2 fingers on here, and you can move the bridge like this, back and forth. To do that, the strings have to be clear of any rosin. So, because if there's rosin that builds up, you can't move the bridge, and that's another reason the strings move the bridge, because rosin gets on there, and then the string clings to the bridge and then starts pulling it forward, right? And again, when it pulls it forward, it doesn't just pull it straight forward, but it'll start bending and warping it. So keeping that bridge slightly tilted back is the correct way. The reason you want to slightly tilt it back, like it looks to slightly tilted back, is because, and you won't get this information anywhere because most people don't even understand it, is that there's an equal radius here and here between the strings, because the strings with the tailpiece are actually leaning down. The angle is steeper than it is than the strings going to the nut, right? So imagine if the string angle here was exactly the same as matching so the string to the tailpiece was exact same angle, matching the angle going from the string to the nut, then the bridge would actually be straight up. But because the angle is steeper this way, okay, then the bridge has to lean back in order for the angle between the bridge here and the strings on this side and the angle from the bridge to the strings on this side to be the same. So really everything about the bridge leaning back is all about equal pressure of the strings onto the bridge, right? So so that because if the bridge is forward this way too much or that way too much, then all of a sudden the strings are now warping the bridge one way or another. So the angle of the bridge is purely to keep equal pressure from the strings, which again has a steeper angle in the back than so it doesn't warp it. So if that doesn't make sense, let me know, but that's pretty much pretty much the reason the bridge has to be leaning back. Tuners, always have them up, so that the kids can tune. That's one of those things that I tell all the teachers, just get them up, or if the instrument comes in, just get the tuners up, and or students come in, for repair, always get the tuners up and retune it so that it's at a even even height, and to let them tune.